In this video, I'll review the expectations for writing lesson plans using the UPOX template. Often, I find students have different sets of background knowledge in regards to writing lesson plans. So I hope this video will solidify everyone's understanding of lesson plan writing. For one of this week's assignments, you will be the ESOL teacher, and you will create a small group reading or writing lesson plan. Most of the form provided is pretty straightforward. The forms are exactly the same, just the titles are different. For the ELP standard coding, these will be the Arizona ELP standards, and the links are in the assignment. For the ELA coding, here, use the ELA standards that the small group ESOL lesson that you're writing builds towards. So for instance, if you are working on citing textual evidence, you would use ELP Standard 1. The link to the Arizona ELP standards actually has corresponding ELA standards done for you. Let me show you the website. So here you've got the standard and the different levels, and then it has the numbers here, the ELA alignments done, and then it actually has it all written out for you, which is nice. So now, the learning objectives. So learning objectives can either be an essential question, an I can statement, or students will be able to, and then whatever they're going to do. Use whatever you're most comfortable with or what your district expects you to use. Remember, objectives should be what students should be able to do, or at least are working towards being able to do by the end of the lesson. Also, since most schools want them posted for students, they should also be written in kid-friendly terms and even referred to during the lesson so that it's actually something that's meaningful. They shouldn't basically be the standards rewritten with an I can in front of it or students will be able to do, because that doesn't mean anything to students really. So for differentiation and strategies, any sort of support that is particular to ELs will be fine for that part right here rather. Okay, so that's resources and materials, very self-explanatory. Okay, so now for the lesson. So the lesson plan, it should follow the gradual release model. There's a review video posted below. But basically, explicit instruction here is the I do part of the lesson, and it is where you explain whatever new materials are being learned for students. The lesson outline, the guided instruction, this is the we do / you do together. So here, for the we do, you would do some practice together with students. And then the you do together would be where students might work in a small group or pairs for a certain amount of time or do a certain amount of problems and practice before you go back together, go over their work, and then review and clarify any issues or confusion. Then for the you do alone, this is of course where students would do their independent practice and work by themselves. I, of course, teach middle school, so I have to say alone. If I don't, they'll just do it together. So sometimes I have to make it very clear. And then for assessment and feedback, this is how you will assess students for that day. It could be something simple like an exit ticket, an emoji check-in, a thumbs up, thumbs down. It could be a quick Kahoot, but it's just something to see how well the students got your lesson on what you just did that day. Each step for this can be written very simply. So it can be like step 1 or 1, the teacher does blah, blah, blah. Step 2, the students do blah, 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 and so on. It doesn't have to be written in any sort of flowery language. Just straightforward, to the point is fine. So I hope this video clarifies your understanding of writing lesson plans. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message.